Tonight, Inspector General of Police dispatches specialized officers and counter-terrorism units to Beni, appealing to feuding factions to lay down their arms after renewed clashes left 9 dead and dozens in critical condition.
Eventually, we have almost getting to 300 policemen on the ground, at least to help the people who are in this situation, people who are running away from this fight, at least so that we can give them protection.
The chief of Sola is urging authorities to return their seized guns, warning that assailants in the ongoing dispute have allegedly enlisted mercenaries from Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire.
So we are pleading that you propose to give our guns back to us. We are not going to use them to fight. Then we also use it to protect ourselves.
Top story, as always, is brought to you by Telecel Connecting Energies and also by the Shield Pension Trust into the future with you. Now, the Inspector General of Police, Christian Tetayonu, has dispatched specialized officers and counter-terrorism units to Beni following deadly clashes over a land dispute which has left 9 dead and 29 others injured. As tensions remain high in the farming community, residents are resorting to makeshift measures, donning red armbands and marking their homes. Now, we take you live to the heart of the conflict where fear and uncertainty grip the community and hear from the IGP. But first, listen to some residents on why they are wearing red armbands and marking their structures.
Today is a farming community. This time is a farming community. So we also rely on our market days. That is why we get our daily bread. So we didn't know the conflict is at the Black Water. It's from miles away. We just heard something that there's a conflict there. We all ran for our life. So what does it? So since Sunday, we cannot go to the farm again. Okay, so as a farming community, if you don't go to farm, how can you survive?
Yes. So why are you tying the red band on your hand?
This red band, somewhere, according to some influence, that if you don't tie the red bands, if somebody comes in, you may not know the difference between we and our opponent. So we just tying the means that we are not aware of the conflict.
We are not aware of the conflict.
Yes. That is why we want to tie the red.
They are
separate ourselves from them.
Okay. From who?
From our enemies, those who are shooting the bullets.
They are thinking about placing curfew here. What do you think?
The curfew will not help us because Sola, from here to where the conflict is very far. So if there is any curfew, the curfew should go to where they are causing the conflict. And we here, we need peace.
So there you had it, people explaining why they are wearing red armbands and also marking their structures. Now, the chief of Sola, Abdullahi Nugbaso, is urging residents to return their seized guns, warning that assailants in the ongoing dispute have allegedly enlisted mercenaries from Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire.
But you people normally say a little bit of rumors, a little truth is there. I think information is getting to us that there are people from Cote d'Ivoire crossing the Black Water to come and fight at Burkina because they in the lobbies, they are speaking one language. And they are saying that if they are able to help them to fight and collect our land, then it will be theirs. Truly, that the information that they are getting from you people or the information reaching them from you people that have patience. And we are having that kind of patience. As we are talking now, our people can wear some of this attire you are seeing. And your people will go and seize them. Even if you collect my gun, what of the set that I've wear? You people knew that we stay here for these people so many years. We have stayed with them so many years. They are our friends. We do everything together. Then it has done that they say a small puppy when you are joking with it, you lick your mouth. So that is why it's happening now. Regional minister has spoken the truth. If they know that this land belongs to us, we don't have problem. But if they don't know that this particular land belongs to these people and we came and settled, so he want to ask, please, that we are pleading for, can we get it? Because as we are speaking, it's the president his own land that they are claiming that the land is for them. And you travel from Burkina, Kojo, and come and see somebody land, and it will be yours. What we want to plead is, we have our guns that are with your people. So we are pleading that you propose to give our guns back to us. We are not going to use them to fight. Then we also use it to protect ourselves.
So that's the chief of Sola, Abdullahi Nungbaso, there urging authorities to return their seized guns. But the Inspector General of Police, COP Tete Yonu, who led a high-powered security delegation there today, wants the people to lay down their arms, reassuring them that there are more men on the ground to protect people.
And tell them they should put down their arms so that if there's anything, the chiefs will talk about it to make sure that they bring peace to the area. And so we know that coming to him, he's doing all that will bring peace here. We are coming to encourage him and also pray that all the efforts he's making, the various chiefs, the various youths from all sides that are involved in this conflict will listen to him so that at the end of the day, the very quiet savannah region that we know will be at peace. In so doing, we decided to increase more personnel. Luckily too, we have our brothers from the military who are also over here. So when our men went in, quickly they were also there to support us, at least to be able to reduce the nature of the incident that would have occurred if our military counterparts have not even come to support us. We have not even ended when we realized that it was just going from village to village. We have also mobilized more FPU personnel, over 100 FPU personnel from Accra who have just arrived, and over 30 counter-terrorism units who have also arrived to support the men over here. Eventually, we have almost getting to 300 policemen on the ground, at least to help the people who are in this situation, people who are running away from this fight, at least so that we can give them protection, and also try to work together with our other security agencies to bring tensions down.
So that is the Inspector General of Police, COP, Dr. Tete Yono. That this is still top story here on Joy 99.7 FM. Let's go on to the phone lines now and bring in our Savannah regional correspondent, Isaac Nonya, who's joining us from the ground. Isaac, I'm grateful to you for joining. Now, you visited the communities today. What is the general apprehension with the people and the need to wear red armbands?
And it's one people, they look at the basics.
Isaac, you might want to reposition yourself. Your line is a bit terrible. We want to follow what you're telling us, so if you can reposition yourself. Isaac, kindly reposition yourself for us so we can hear you better. Okay. Let me hear you.
We saw both by the bank and two rules. First, then I support the people that was a mission.
Well, Isaac, difficult hearing you. We'll try and re-establish the line so we can have a better connection to you to really understand, the situation on the ground as we speak. We also understand that there was a dissect meeting today. We'll get all of those details for you here on the show. We'll be speaking to the DC of the area to understand. The people are calling for their guns to be returned to them. What is the decision by the authorities, and what's the outcome of that particular dissect meeting that went on today? We'll get all the details here for you on Top Story, which is also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, as well as 80 or 100.5 FM in Kumasi. Let me try Isaac Nunez's line again.
What is that? Because
but difficult, Isaac. Let me try and bring in the DCE for the area the DCE for the area, Sola, Kalba, Tuna, Saka, Sekina. I'm grateful to you, Honorable, for joining us here. Now, you had the chiefs and people there, and they are asking for their guns to be returned to them. What assurance or what are you doing to reassure them, given the appeal, that their guns to be returned to them? Okay, I'm still struggling to get you the line, but let me try and bring you in again. Saka Sekina is the DC for the area. I said the chiefs and the people of the area are calling on authorities, which includes you, for you to return their guns to them. And I'm asking, what are you doing to reassure them, that you have this particular situation under control?
And I said on that appeal, it was made to the IGP at the police, and he said to make a pronouncement on it. Currently, I'm with the IGP, they are in the hinterland, and the network is not always in there.
Okay, all right. Now, we understand there was a DISEC meeting today. What was the outcome of that meeting?
The DISEC meeting was yesterday. And the outcome of the meeting involves more of things. One, people agree with Dr. Now. All the things directed to be removed from this.
Quite difficult. Okay, so we'll try and re-establish the connection with you. The lines are not helping us today, but we're talking to Saka Sekina, who is the DC for Solar Kalba Tuna. We want to understand what's being done to get this particular issue under control. The chiefs and people, that, as you heard earlier, have indicated clearly that these are their lands that people want to take over from them, and they are not willing to relinquish them. Again, they are making a plea to authorities to return to them their guns, because they allege that their opponents have brought in mercenaries from Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire, and they want to use those guns to protect themselves, not to foment trouble. We'll get all the details for you here on the show. This is his top story. My name is Samuel Kojo. We'll be bringing in Isaac Nonya again. We also we will be speaking to the MP for the area to get to the bottom of all of these issues. We'll take this quick break. We'll be back with more here on Top Story. Do stay with us.
Small money day, big money day, where too much money day. Telecel Too Much Money promo drop. If you dial *500#, then join them. For the Telecel Too Much Money promo inside, you will win 100 Ghana cedis cash for the daily draws, 20,000 Ghana cedis for the weekly draws, then 1.2 million Ghana cedis for the grand draw inside. That be 1.2 million Ghana cedis. You for just reload airtime, then get points where they make you win. Make you dial *500# or go the Telecel Play app top. Then book inside riders give the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Telecel, connecting energies.
This promo will be NLA where they regulate them for the Caritas Lottery platform top.
Couldn't sleep at night. Mosquitoes will be whining my ears, bugging me all night long. Till I got a remedy. Now I'll be spraying them away with holy insecticide spray. Me I go spray them away with holy insecticide spray. When I sleep, me dana maga with holy insecticide spray.
Holy mosquito coil, holy multi-purpose insecticide spray. Dana kron kron. For bulk purchase, call 0302 681582. This advert is FDA approved.
No. You look so relaxed and cheerful these days. What's your secret?
No secret, Kofi. I just sorted out my retirement with Shield Pension Trust. You should talk to them.
Retirement? There's more time before pension.
Share. The earlier you start, the better. And Shield Pension Trust makes it so easy for you. They've got amazing plans to choose from. I even signed up for the Shield Cedi Crow a Day personal pension scheme, which lets you save as little as 1 Ghana Cedi a day towards your retirement. Isn't that great?
1 cedi a day.
Exactly. And the best part is, I sign up automatically on the Dachia Pomoden plan, which guarantees me medical insurance when I go on retirement.
Hey, you've convinced me. I need to sign up now.
Kofi is making a move to secure his future and health insurance when he goes on retirement. What about you? Go to Shield Pension Trust or call us now on 050-915-0253 and we'll guide you through securing your pension tomorrow. Shield Pension Trust, into the future with you.
Do you wish to give your child a world-class education that's both affordable and accessible right here in Accra? Look no further. At Metro Gold Schools, located at Ablekuma Curve, Ablekuma Abasi Newtown Road, your child thrives in a safe, inclusive, and inspiring learning environment, offering the renowned Cambridge International Curriculum, a British education that cultivates critical thinking, creativity, and global readiness. We also provide boarding facilities for both boys and girls, ensuring safety and security as your child grows. Enroll today. Visit our website metrogoldschool.edu.gh or call 054-805-0108. Metro Gold Schools, where your child's future shines bright.
Announcing Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing. Yes, from just 983 Ghana cedis, you can lease a multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited. Yes, unlimited and free paper every month. Guess what? That's not all. Toners, repairs, and maintenance all are free. And oh, I'm not kidding at all. And we cover the whole country. Yes, the whole country. What are you waiting for? Just visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244-644048. I repeat, or call 0244-644048. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Valix Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Welcome back to Top Story here on Joy 99.7 FM. We are talking about the situation in Binyiri where there's been some communal clashes. And today, we understand the chiefs of the area are urging authorities to return their seized guns to them so they could protect themselves, because they allege that their opponents have hired mercenaries from Cote d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso to aid them in this particular clash. The IGP also has a response. First, listen to the Sola Tuna Karba chief making that particular call that their guns must be returned to them.
Upgrade ourselves. We all need to learn on the job. As ZK was saying, most of us.
You people normally say a little bit of rumors, a little proof is there. I think information is getting to us that there are people from Cote d'Ivoire crossing the Black Volta to come and fight at Burkina, because they in the lobbies, they are speaking one language. And they are saying that if they are able to help them to fight and collect our land, then it will be theirs. Truly, that the information that they are getting from you people, or the information reaching them from you people, that have patience. And we are having that kind of patience. As we are talking now, our people can wear some of this attire you are seeing. And your people will go and seize them. Even if you collect my gun, what of the set that I've wear? You people knew that we stay here for these people so many years. We have stayed with them so many years. They are our friends. We do everything together. Then it has done that they say a small puppy, when you are joking with it, you lick your mouth. So that is what is happening now. The regional minister has spoken the truth. If they know that this land belongs to us, we don't have problem. But if they don't know that this particular land belongs to these people and we came and settled, so he want to ask, please, that we are pleading for, can we get it? Because as we are speaking, it's the president, his own land, that they are claiming that the land is for them. And you travel from Burkina, Cote d'Ivoire, and come and see somebody's land, and it will be yours. What we want to plead is, we have our guns that are with your people. So we are pleading that you propose to give our guns back to us. We are not going to use them to fight. Then we also use it to protect ourselves.
So that is the plea that the chiefs and the people of Sola, gave to authorities when the IGP led a high-power delegation to them to talk about this particular situation. The IGP had a response to the chief on this particular request of returning their guns to them.
And tell them they should put down their arms so that if there's anything, the chiefs will talk about it to make sure that they bring peace to the area. And so we know that coming to him, he's doing all that will bring peace here. We are coming to encourage him and also pray that all the efforts he's making, the various chiefs, the various youths from all sides that are involved in this conflict will listen to him so that at the end of the day, the very quiet savannah region that we know will be at peace. In so doing, we decided to increase more personnel. Luckily too, we have our brothers from the military who are also over here. So when our men went in, quickly they were also there to support us, at least to be able to reduce the nature of the incident that would have occurred if our military counterparts have not even come to support us. We have not even ended when we realized that it was just going from village to village. We have also mobilized more FU personnel, over 100 FU personnel from Accra who have just arrived, and over 30 counter-terrorism units who have also arrived to support the men over here. Eventually, we have almost gotten to 300 policemen on the ground, at least to help the people who are in this situation, people who are running away from this fight, at least so that we can give them protection, and also try to work together with our other security agencies to bring tensions down.
So that was the IGP. Let me now bring in Rebecca Natomo, who is our Adom FM correspondent in the Savannah region. She was in this particular delegation. Rebecca, grateful for joining. Now, you were in this delegation. Who else spoke apart from the IGP?
Okay, the Major General Advocate also spoke about the peace situation in Solar District and its environment, especially traditional rulers. We have traditional leader or a traditional council, all band people. He also spoke about the current situation in the district. And Solar District is on the Black Volta, which is just close to Africa. So the peace are urging the IGP and other security agencies that have come to Solar today that they should be watchful in the border areas because they have heard that there are weapons in other environments. People are just bringing in weapons to come and fight the Gonjas. So the traditional rulers are urging the security agencies, and they've also approached the IGP to make sure that those border areas, they go on patrols to stop any other person. They'll be bringing in any weapons in the name they are coming to disturb the peace of the people of Solar District, most especially the Gonjas. But as we speak, IGP and other officials, led by the Savannah Regional Minister, Sally Subiarobe, have gone to the crime scene. They've gone to Beni. From Beni, they'll move to Sendere, where last night we were told they killed another person there, and the body has been deposited at the Solar District Hospital mortuary. From there, they'll be moving to Calabar. Then they will move towards the southern area, which is Bola District. They will go to Bale, then Mandarin areas, where they have been informed that the other parties have taken over and they are chasing the Gonjas. So the moment they know that you are even a single Gonja you are in the community, they will have to chase you out. So the security with the Savannah Regional Minister are going to move around all these communities to preach peace and also come back to Solar Island, Solar Island, to brief him as to what they will be doing in the other days.
And they are doing all of this tonight?
Yes. As we speak, they have already set off. to those communities. And numbering, we have about 5 military vehicles in the Solar District that have joined the IGP on this particular tour, especially Beni, where the incident happened or where it started. So they are going to move in there. We've been told that 2 of the Gonja young men cannot be found. So IGP have assured Solara, have also assured the youth and Yagora, that is the overlord of the Gonja Kingdom, that they are going to protect any other person in the district. So as they are going there, they pray that they will come back safely to brief Solara and also Bolera about other things that are happening there, so that the community, everyone will be living in peace. But as we say, the whole town is very quiet. Not even a vehicle is moving towards Wa or Damango. If you're a passenger, you are standing by the roadside, it's really difficult for you to get a vehicle to board. And all the drug stores around, all stores have been shut down because people in Solar and its environment, moving from Zelenko, Calabar, Blema, everybody is now living in fear. And the tension in town, you can't withstand it.
So more of a ghost town now, as we speak.
Yes, as we speak.
You also mentioned that there was a report of a new death in the area. So one more, the death toll has increased by 1. Is that it?
Yes, it has been increased by 1. But we were told that that particular man who is from Daboya, it's a fisherman around the Black Water at Kale area. That is on the Black Water. But unfortunately, the one they brought to the mortuary, he was killed at Tengere.
Okay.
And the body have been brought to the hospital, district hospital mortuary. But this particular one, the parents want us to speak, the body is yet to be found. So some of the Gonja warriors have joined the IDC to go and check of the recent ones that have just already happened.
Okay.
But
all right.
They have brought the widow and other children from the community to the Solar Palace.
Now, we understand many residents are still displaced. Have you been hearing about, whether they've been provided with food and temporary shelters?
As we speak now, the other side, that is the lobby people or the people people, they have come to stay at the Solar District Police Station, just taking for refuge. And the district chief executive, the DC, is trying all his best to provide them with food and water. But the situation at the police station is there is not even accommodation. So even if NADMO is coming to set up any tents around that area, it won't be conducive because the tension is so high. And those people, you won't even know where to put them. Apart from the security coming to pick them out of the district to a different area. Those brave people, the women and children, have been stopped at the Solar District Police Headquarters as we speak. And the police are protecting them, and that is why the Gonja youth at the other side are also agitating that nobody is protecting them. So why is it that those particular people have been protected? And there are those who are in the bushes stealing the Gonjas. So food has been provided by the district chief executive for them at least to survive on it for some time. But yeah, as we speak, they are all still preaching for peace in the district.
But support from NADMO National hasn't arrived, because yesterday when we spoke to the acting director of NADMO in the district, he said they had spoken to National, and National had assured that some support will reach them.
Okay, after the time the IGP arrived at Solaris Palace, Solara Abdullah Palace, we actually saw the Savannah Regional NADMO Director, Mahama Zakaria, with the Savannah Regional Minister. But due to the tension, he couldn't brief any other person or any media person as to their preparation towards the refugees at the police headquarters.
Okay. Rebecca, I'm grateful to you for the updates that you've given us. Rebecca Natomo is the correspondent for our sister station at Dome FM in the Savannah region. This has been Top Story. Up next is Newsnight.
30 years of joyfulness. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Newsnight.
This bulletin is live on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra, Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, and on over 30 affiliates across the country. Coming up tonight, OT region grapples with alarming typhoid fever outbreak as cases skyrocket to over 10,000 in just 6 months, with the regional minister admitting he is helpless as the absence of a hospital in the regional capital hampers treatment.
Unfortunately for us, we don't have a hospital in Dambai, and that is the major issue. I myself have never suffered from typhoid. And when I became the minister and I came to Dambai, I've been treated 3 times of typhoid already.
More from the regional minister as he reveals the spread has led to a number of fatalities. Also coming up, waiting disasters in pending Bagri Dam spillage is set to wreak havoc on the Upper East region, with over 700,000 acres of farmland at risk of being inundated.
By next week onwards, we believe that the whole of this place will be totally flooded, that we can't even have access to this place. Where we stand will all be flooded.
We'll speak to the Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture, John Dumelo, about government intervention. Coming up in business.
And the amended Ghana Investment Promotion Act, which includes removal of minimum capital requirement for investors, heads to Cabinet for approval.
And in sports, police ladies face Sam Nelly FC of Benin, looking to keep their dreams of a CAF Women's Champions League place alive.
And later in the bulletin, NPP flag bearer hopeful Kwabena Ijapon challenges his fellow aspirants to a debate of ideas after being the first to file his nomination forms.
Anytime I've launched my campaign, it's about issues. And I'm calling all my other competitors. Let's have a proper debate. Let's elevate the discourse. You know, that's what is important. The Ghanaian people, they deserve to know our views on major national issues.
We've got the latest of these and many other stories coming up in the next 60 minutes. My name is Kenneth. Gyasi.
My name is Ofori.
Details shortly.
Tonight, a health crisis is brewing in the OT region, where a staggering 10,233 confirmed cases of typhoid fever have been recorded in the first half of 2025. Regional Minister John Japon warns that the lack of a major health facility in the regional capital, Dambai, is exacerbating the situation. With the region's health infrastructure and the strain, Mr. Japon is calling for urgent action to stem the tide of the outbreak.
Unfortunately for us, we don't have a hospital in Dambai. And that is the major issue. Yeah, we don't know what is it, whether it is Dambai who is producing the typhoid or whatever. It's a serious issue. It's a very, very serious issue.
So
I myself have never suffered from typhoid. And when I became the minister and I came to Dambai, I've been treated 3 times of typhoid already, and it's a very dicey thing. It means in OT now, every 20 people, you have 2 people who have typhoid. Yes. Wow. And this report, there is a latest report which is more scary than this one.
Well,
but for now, even this one, in every 20 people in OT is supposed to have 2 people who have typhoid.
Well, Mr. Japan further revealed that the surge in typhoid cases in the region has claimed the lives of key figures, including a former municipal chief executive of Dambai.
So many people have lost their lives. For politicians, most of them even died in service. The last former chief executives of Dambai all died out of typhoid. We're talking about hospitals in Dambai where this typhoid is so prevalent. Seriously, it doesn't mean we don't have hospitals in the Oti region. We have a very good hospital in Raura, but the distance from Dambai to Raura alone is an issue. In the evening around 7:30, I was called that one of our chiefs is seriously ill, and before they got him to Raura, he passed on.
So that there is the Oti Regional Minister, John Japan, there sharing his ordeal and also how devastating typhoid outbreak in his region has been. And joining his research has been analyzing data from the Ghana Statistical Service, and it reveals something alarming. The Oti region alone has nearly 70,000 open defecation spots. And a member of our research desk, Jason Day, joins me in the studio with more. Jason, take us through the numbers, what they are saying about open defecation in Oti and how it's spread across the various districts.
Well, yeah, Ken, according to the 2021 population and housing census, there are 69,892 open defecation spots across the Oti region's 9 districts. And it says that, looking deep in the numbers, the problem is highly concentrated in 5 districts, where these districts are in Kwanta South, in Kwanta North, Karachi East, Karachi Intumuru, and Karachi West. Together, they account for 58,851 spots. That's about 84% of the region's total spots there. But even more striking, right? If you take 2 districts, that's the Nkwanta South and Nkwanta North alone, they have 30,588 open defecation spots, representing 43.8% in the Oti region.
Those are quite alarming figures. But does the data also say anything about wastewater disposal?
Yes, it says that, and that data is even just worrying. It says the census shows that in Oti region there are 153,564 areas where they dispose of wastewater directly onto the ground, the streets. And again, if you rank or if you look at the districts, they lead the numbers where making up almost 70% of these cases, the districts are in Kwanta South, Karachi East, in Kwanta North, Biakoye, and Kajebi. Ken.
What about the access to safe drinking water?
That just worsens the case. It's just another challenge because according to the census, that's the 2021 population and housing census, there are 23% of households in Oti, that's the entire region, still don't have access to improved drinking water. This makes it the 3rd worst region after Savannah and Northeast region in Ghana. But then 98% of, that's like almost everybody, almost every household, 98% of households rely on surface water sources. And that is the highest rate across all 16 regions in Ghana. And when it comes to sachet water drinking or sachet water usage, it is very low because only 7.7% of households are dependent on sachet water. The data analyzing looks through, as we've been reading through, it says that for families without water on their premises, it takes on an average of 21 minutes just to access drinking water.
Those are very disturbing statistics you have revealed to us, Jason Day. Thank you very much. You can join the conversation, especially we want to hear from you if you are in the Oti region. How bad is the situation? Our WhatsApp platform is 055 11 11 997. But we want to extend this conversation and have a conversation on the back of this and appel. Who do we have?
We have Arthur Ahin, and he's the Watcher Technical Specialist for World Vision Ghana. Good evening and welcome to Newsnight.
Good evening.
I'm sure you've listened to excerpts of the data which shows that nearly 70,000 open defecation spots in OT alone. Do you think that has advocacy around the enforcement of sanitation bylaws failed, or you think it's the case of government not prioritizing sanitation at all?
Well, thank you and good evening to our cherished listeners. First of all, let me make the point that it is both. Yes, successive governments, have failed to prioritize, promote behavior change, ensure increased financing, pay attention to infrastructure development, and enforce regulation and compliance. Apart from that, yes, advocacy takes quite some time to yield results. But you can't put the blame on that, because if we had all the structures and the system was working, advocacy may not even be needed. Things will fall in place. But for me, I think that we need to begin to prioritize and consider sanitation as a fulcrum around which development should revolve. If you increase access to improved sanitation, then you are reducing your healthcare costs. You are increasing productivity. You are ensuring that people are not getting sick. Then development will accelerate. But if we fail to pay attention to sanitation, it will always come back to bite us. And it will bite us hard. Because all the achievements we would have made in other sectors will be eroded, because sanitation has multiplier effects on all other sectors of the economy. And so once that one is not resolved, other sectors will also suffer.
Okay, Mr. Ahin, but what about the citizens? What's their own responsibility?
Yes, that's what I talked about, behavior change. Citizens have failed to change their behavior, and we still continue to live as if we are in the primitive age. This day and age, people continue to defecate in the open, forgetting that the implications are there. It affects children are dying, people are getting sick, education outcomes are reducing, because sanitation also affects education. If you go to school and there's no toilet facility, the tendency for the child is to go home. And sometimes they just make up an excuse to go home and won't come back to school and all that. And so I think that as citizens, we also have a key role to play in ensuring that all of us pay attention to improve sanitation. Once we are able to do that, we'll begin to see the results. But we are happy that the president at least has made sanitation a key performance indicator for all metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives. But this requires effective monitoring so that we can reward those who do well and punish those who take sanitation for granted within their jurisdiction. We need to pay attention to the preventive aspect of healthcare instead of the curative aspect. We shouldn't wait for people to get sick. And I think that we should increase the budget for the Ministry of Water, Works and Housing, and then also for Ministry of Local Government, which has oversight over sanitation. That way, we'll be reducing our healthcare costs. And we need to ensure that we awaken the nation's sanitation conscience. And I think that we will be looking forward to a lot more of such leadership from the presidency.
You're talking about increasing the budget on sanitation. Specifically, what percentage?
You know that the budget for sanitation is nothing to write home about. Apart from paying for emoluments and all that, there is virtually nothing for capital expenditure and for ensuring that we are able to eliminate open defecation, for example. The budget for health and education is so high that it leaves virtually nothing for the rest of the ministries. They get very, very little. And if you get to know how much sanitation receives, we don't even get 1% of the national budget. And so you can imagine what, it can do. So I think that we need to increase this drastically and ensure that even at the MMDA level, they are also able to mobilize resources and increase the allocation of their internally generated funds and the common funds and other statutory funds for improved sanitation. Because once that improves, I can assure you that all other sectors will also improve. But finally, let me talk about the open defecation situation. If you have a country with 17.7% open defecation rate, meaning that almost 1/5, if you take 5 people, 1 is likely to practice open defecation. That is serious. And all 5 regions in northern Ghana have open defecation rates more than 50%.
Mr. Atta Yao Ahin, you're the WASH technical specialist, World Vision Ghana. Thank you so much for your time on Newsnight.
Well, Pearl, from the OT region, let's go to the Upper East region because the clock is ticking for thousands of farmers in that region as the Bagre Dam spillage is expected to hit within 24 hours. Over 700,000 acres of farmland are bracing for the worst, with widespread flooding and destruction predicted. Well, farmers are crying out for help, citing years of neglect and lack of compensation for past losses. The coalition of concerned farmers is sounding the alarm, warning that inadequate education and mitigation efforts have left farmers exposed to the mercy of the floodwaters. Gustave Ano is president of the coalition.
Everybody knows that I have a record.
We are very much concerned because over the years it's been happening, and most of the times you hear on radio through the communities a whole lot about educating farmers about the dangers of it. But every time it happens, our crops get destroyed. Also, our livestock, loss of livestock, and a whole lot do affect us. Crowd doesn't, get affected by this spillage. Those of us in the Upper East, Northeast, and Savannah regions coming down to a true Eastern region and both parts of Volta region to the Greater Accra. So we plead with government through NADMO to get to the communities and educate the farmers. And also, most of us, about 5 years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago, most of our farmers who were affected were told they will be compensated a whole lot. Nothing came. No compensation came. So we plead with the government. Over the years, there is a way they can, divert it to the Palugu Dam, which will serve other purposes during the dry season. I think it's a very good idea.
Meanwhile, the National Disaster Management Organization insists farmers have been adequately sensitized ahead of the spill. Director of Inspectorate at NADMO, Richard Amoyati, says an assessment is ongoing to support about 5,000 people expected to be affected.
We are still talking to them, engaging them in all the 4 regions. And even yesterday, another team from the headquarters has been deployed to go and support. So we are working with them to complete the harvesting and then also need be move up to higher grounds so that the flow will pass without any emergencies. But then we are ready to respond to any situation that will arise out of. From our assessments so far, we are prepared to immediately take care of up to about 5,000 people if they are affected by the situation in providing support for them.
Well, let's just stay in the region, Pearl, and speak to our resident correspondent, Albert Sori. We also have Martina Bugri, who is our resident correspondent in the northern region, joining us for more on this. Albert, let me start with you. How are people in the Upper East region preparing for this spillage?
A lot of the farmers around the White Volta Lake have been collecting their harvest. They are rushing to harvest whatever produce they have left on the farms before the floods come. Yesterday, we had a lot of them who had their farms already beginning to get submerged. Today, when we returned, what they were telling us was that it appeared that the water levels had slowed down a little bit. And so, contrary to their expectations that today the water would be very high on their farms, it had sort of slowed down. And so a lot of them are still rushing to harvest what little they can before their farms get submerged.
Okay, Albert, hold on. I'll come back to you. But let me bring in Martina at this point. Martina, is the situation different in the northern region?
In the northern region, what they are doing is the fields that are mature, they are harvesting. The northern region didn't have early rains, and so most of them planted a bit late. So a lot of them would probably not be able to harvest because the plants are still not matured. But a few are being able to harvest. And what's being harvested now is granules and a bit of the maize. So they were hoping that the water will come, probably go, and still they'll be able to harvest something.
Right. When it happens like this, you see most of them preparing themselves, a lot of them fleeing the places where it is likely to impact them. Are we witnessing anything like that in the Upper East region, Albert?
Yes, so because of the fact that this flooding has been happening for many years, many of the residents who used to live on the shoulders of the white voter and black voter over the years have moved. So we don't have residences or households along the area anymore. What we have are the people going back to the farmlands around the basin of the lake, because the lands there are fertile, and a lot of them don't have any other lands apart from these places. So they keep going back there to farm, and as you heard Martina say, the expectation they always have is that they can harvest before the floods come. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen all the time, and so that's the situation that we have.
Albert, sorry, thank you very much. He's our resident correspondent in the Upper East region. And earlier we heard from Martina Bugri, who reports for us from the Northern region. Let's still stay on this matter and speak to the Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture, John Dumelo, who's joining us on the telephone lines for more. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Dumelo. What is government's intervention to this? This is an annual problem that keeps coming back every year.
Well, good evening to you and good evening to your listeners. It's an annual occurrence. What we are trying to do at this point is to assess the situation. And by assessing the situation, we want to liaise with NADMO and liaise with the regional minister and the DCs, the various DCs, and to see how best we can help the farmers. But all in all, I think it's time we think about long-term permanent solutions. Either we dam the water and see how best we can store it so that we can use it for irrigation purposes.
One would say that since it is an annual occurrence that keeps coming back, why is the ministry not done assessing the situation? Why is it now considering an assessment when it's ever closer?
Well, I mean, it's not an excuse, but we just came to power. This is the first time this happened this year, and so we just need to find a permanent solution, a permanent solution, like I was saying. So it's about assessing the situation and putting cost to whatever solution that we would prefer.
And have any ideas come on board for a permanent solution to ensure that this issue is resolved once and for all? Any ideas?
I mean, yes, there are a couple of ideas on the table, but we are looking at the best one. But what I can assure you is that I myself will be there to assess the situation and then see how best we can solve this the problem.
When are you expected to be there?
In the next couple of days.
Any specifics? Any particular day that you can give us?
Over the weekend.
Okay.
Currently, I'm in Dorsu area, interacting with some farmers. I'll finish by Friday, and then Saturday I head over there.
You've mentioned that you are looking at a long-term solution to ensure that this is gone once and for all. In the interim, though, what is the short-term measure that you are seeking to give to the people there?
The short-term solution depends on the level of damage. And so if we interact with the farmers and see the number of farms that have been destroyed, and then we'll be able to sit down and say, okay, X number of farms have been destroyed, X number of produce have been affected,
and then we'll liaise with NAPO, and then we'll see what we can do. Of course, we'll give them some relief items.
Okay, John Dumelo is the Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture. Thank you very much for your time this evening.
Now, in a bold move, former NPP General Secretary and flag bearer Ofori Kwabena Ejapon has called out his fellow flag bearer aspirants, daring them to join him in a debate that will put their visions for Ghana under the spotlight. Kwabena Ejapon believes it's time to ditch the slogans and popularity contest and instead engage Ghanaians on the real issues that matter. By taking the debate to the delegates, Mr. Ejapon hopes to elevate the conversation and give voters a clearer sense of what each candidate stands for.
Everybody knows that I have a record of diplomatic speak. I'm not one who is given to effusions. I don't do that. I have strong emotional intelligence. I have led with integrity. Everybody knows my record in public service, serving as press secretary to President Kojo. So if you are talking about myself, I'm not here to speak for others or speak about others. But anytime I've launched my campaign, it's about issues. And I'm calling all my other competitors. Let's have a proper debate. Let's elevate the discourse. That's what is important. The Ghanaian people, they deserve to know our views on major national issues. The party delegates deserve to know. So this is not a popularity contest. You understand? So they need to test our views on major issues. And I think that if they submit themselves to a debate, that will be very good for all of us. And it will change the atmosphere that seems a bit poisoned now, and so that we can restore ourselves to proper democracy, a democracy that will let the younger generation feel attracted to it. That's what we should be doing. So I'm not one who's going to muddy the waters or poison the atmosphere. But of course, once in a while, when there are historical facts that are being distorted, it's my duty to correct them. Especially as a former general secretary, I see myself as a custodian of the history and the tradition of this party. And fortunately, I would say, in all humility, I was the only one amongst all of us who was there in 1992 campaigning for Professor Dubois. So I have that institutional memory of this political tradition. And I'll live or die by it. Principles and virtues should rule, not money.
Still on the NPP, the party has announced an expansion of its presidential primary voter register to include a wider range of past and present party officials, dignitaries and affiliated group leaders. The decision, taken in accordance with Article 13(1)(11) of the party's constitution and pursuant to a motion on transitional provisions adopted at the party's national annual delegate conference on July 19, introduced 19 new categories of eligible voters. Kenneth is here, and he has the list of individuals now eligible to vote in the party's presidential primaries. Tell us about the list.
Well, Pearl, so that's quite a long list. We have all former regional executives, all former constituency executives, all members of the National Council of Elders. We have 30 members of the National Council of Patrons, all former party card-bearing members of parliament, all former party card-bearing parliamentary candidates, all past national officers, all external branch executives. We also have all former external branch executives, TESCOM president from each recognized tertiary institution. We also have national TESCOM coordinator, all regional TESCOM coordinators, one TESCOM patron from each recognized institution, all former card-bearing ministers and their deputies, all former card-bearing MMDCEs. We also have 10 members from each regional council of elders, 10 patrons from each region, 5 members of each constituency council of elders, 5 patrons from each constituency. And then party officials who fall within the newly listed categories have been directed to register immediately through their respective organizational structures, including the National Secretariat, regional and constituency officers, and external branches. An online registration link will also be made available, according to the party, for external branches to ease the process. According to the directive, the deadline for registration is Friday, the 19th of September, 2025. And thankfully, we have the party's Deputy General Secretary, Haruna Mohammed, on the line to tell us more on this. Haruna, thank you for joining us tonight. Before we go into this, though, Kwabena Japan, who is a former general secretary of the party, and now a candidate or an aspirant for the flag bearer position of your party, is calling for a debate between the candidates to share their ideas. Is this something that the hierarchy of the party will consider? Briefly.
First from what I say, good evening to your cherished listeners. Well, the question and the call that we have made does not fall within the decision and leadership of the party. There is an elections committee that is to foresee all the processes that will lead to the election of the next flag bearer for our party. So I might not be able to give you a direct answer to that particular proposal that has been made by our former general secretary of our party.
Very well. Now let's talk about the expansion of the voter register for your upcoming presidential primaries. What specific measures will the presidential election committee, for example, put in place to ensure that only legitimate and eligible members are captured in this new register?
Thank you very much. I believe that this is something that is not going to be a very difficult matter for us. We have done presidential primaries before. And the constitution of our party is very clear when it comes to who becomes a delegate. After the 19th delegates conference of our party, where we made several amendments to our constitution by way of motion, and which is going to be captured fully into the new constitution, the elections committee has duly issued a statement related to how we are going to capture that. This particular statement or letter is an internal memo, and that is why the attention of the various constituencies, regional and external branches has been drawn to this particular letter. And if you check very well, not all of them will have to be registering with the constituency or the regional party or external branches. This has to do with the former executives. Former executives are persons that are delegates that have been added that need to go and register at the police or at the constituency levels to be captured into the database. If you look at former regional executives, they are also part of the body that is supposed to go and register. We also have the former constituency executives who are also part of the delegates that are going to register by way of downloading the form from the party's website and filling in and submitting to the constituency or regional party for them to be collated into one documentation.
Mr. Mohammed, we know that some of the candidates called for an expansion of the electoral college of the party, but some party members may also perceive this as a decision to benefit certain camps. I want to find out from you how the leadership responds to such concerns, and what assurances can you give all aspirants of a level playing field?
I think we've gone past that stage. We had made sure that the amendment process of our party constitution was directed to the branches and various levels of structures of the party. They made various input into how the constitution is going to be amended. A decision was taken by way of putting them in motions, and the delegates conference has so decided. Whatever I say now will ultimately doesn't change anything in the delegate system. Only thing that can change that is through a national annual delegates conference, which was done on the 19th of last month, that is July. And I think that they have the right to make those particular calls, but they know the right time that they have to make that call. So we've gone past that stage, and materially it will not change anything if I make any inputs into it.
And by how much is the voter register expected to increase with the addition of these new categories?
That is why we are calling for people who are so affected by the amendment to go and write down their names. If you are a former executive, you are a former constituency, you are a former regional, you are a former national. After national, we already have that particular data. And former MMDC, former parliamentary candidate, you have to go and write your name. If you don't go and write your name and your name is not captured, it is not us who did not capture you. You have decided to waive your inclusion. And at any point in time that is open, or it is open for us to capture for you to be able to vote, then you go and write your name, you'll be captured. So you are asked to capture yourself. After this particular data is taken, we'll be able to know the number of additions that are going to be made, and we add it to the over 200,000 that was captured in the last election, so that the decision will be made on the 31st of
Runa Mohammed is the Deputy General Secretary of the MPP. Thank you very much. It's now time for business, and George is here with the latest. George?
Okay, coming up in business, amended Ghana Investment Promotion Act, which includes removal of minimum capital requirements for investors, heads to Cabinet for approval. And government expected to save about $300 million post-restructuring of debt owed independent power producers. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all your office essentials, Sintus Tanks and Pepsodent, Herbal and Charcoal.
Momo. It has made life happen in lots of good ways.
Mr. Kwanzaa, Mr. Insurance claim no.
It has put together beautiful weddings. It has filled the bellies of boys at their favorite watchy joint.
My guy, stop. Who they chop cancel these days?
It has made millions of businesses possible.
No. We are back in business.
With just a few taps, money moves faster, easier, and safer. Momo understands the weight of your trust in us. We continuously enhance security with features like self-paying reset to help you protect your money. Momo will only call you with 0244 300,000. No MTN or Momo staff will call or ask for your PIN or one-time password. Do not transfer funds to anyone whose identity you have not verified. Do not approve any prompts you have not initiated. Momo, still Munsaka.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kingdom Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first port of call. With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office, Takweje, Osu near the Osu Cemetery, Temania Community 4, Takoradi opposite Vijay Mays Plaza, Cape Coast University Bookshop, Spintex Road near Absa Bank, Atomic Centerpoint Mall, Winneba University Campus, KNUST, the University Bookshop, and Santasi in Kumasi. You can also visit our shop online, www.kingdomstoreonline.com. Hurry while stock lasts. For further inquiries, contact us on 050-162-0810 or 0302-764-101. Email info@kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, where quality and affordability is assured. Terms and conditions apply.
At Star Oil, we believe fuel is not just a commodity, it is a lifeline. Every cedi saved at the pump is a cedi that helps a mother send her child to school. A farmer transports food to the market, or a young entrepreneur deliver their first order. Our mission is to make fuel more accessible by offering consistently competitive prices, helping ease the financial burden on Ghanaian households. In a country where transportation costs can consume nearly a third of household income, this is not just business. It's a social responsibility. Star Oil, still quality and affordable fuels for all.
Cavity protection.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, DNA Yamsa. And stay soft concentrate fabric softener. I was such it move. Just send it this way. You might now watch it. New Yanets now watch it. No, be a baby, some was some demoni in us. DNA Yamsa. Fair Quay Simbiaro Association Ontario uses Stay Soft and Humanity Nawache, Nani Boss to Dafom Cra, a fabric soft na, a year near Sesa. Choose to Stay Soft, no who's so sayano, FDID a dreading cratu yatu.
The luckiest, lucky's everywhere, for everyone, yeah. The luckiest, lucky's everywhere, for everyone, yeah. Money we define, every day and night. Mama, dada keep on hustling for the family. The luckiest, last dance, everyone to hash. You can win some cash. You can be the luckiest with 1 CD, luckiest with 5,000, the luckiest. The teacher got the market woman. You can be the luckiest. Oh, the luckiest. Luck is everywhere for everyone. You can be the luckiest. The luckiest. Luck is everywhere for everyone. Stars everyone to hush. Luck is everywhere. Luck is everywhere. Oh, tell me, are you feeling lucky? Because I'm feeling lucky. Because I'm feeling like the ultimate. That we go win. If I win, you win. You could be the luckiest. Saswabo. Sasso, sasso, come tonton preko. Sasso, sasso, mi se come tonton preko. Edwana twami ne buseshe. Yeah, how can see any malaria? Minya me pone me sasso spray. Every mosquito standing run away. Oh, come on tonton preko. Sasso, sasso, mi se come tonton preko. Oh, come on tonton preko. Sasso, come tonton preko. Nani sham ne die demonstronko.
This advert is FDA approved.
You welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, the amended Ghana Investment Promotion Act, which includes the removal of the minimum capital requirement, heads to Cabinet for approval. President John Mahama disclosed this during an engagement with investors in Singapore during his official state visit. The president has been justifying the decision to review aspects of the regulations.
We're simplifying regulations through our business regulatory reforms, reviewing our Investment Promotion Act, including the removal of minimum capital thresholds to foreign investors, to make it easier for investors to sign up. The Investment Promotion Act is to be laid before Cabinet for approval very soon. Our economic strategy is anchored in productivity, exports, and jobs. We call it the 24-hour economy for a reason.
And that is President John Mahama engaging investors in Singapore. Now, the revised act seeks to remove $1 million needed before investors can venture into some sectors of the economy. It is not clear for now whether it will include the controversial retail space that is reserved for Ghanaians. Now, government is on course to save about $300 million post the debt restructuring deal with investors, that is independent power producers. This will reduce the total debts by some 20% to reach $1.2 billion. Now, this was disclosed by a member of a board tasked to negotiate with the power producers. He has been speaking to Joy Business at the Future of Energy conference organized by the African Center for Energy Policy, that is Ben Boache.
What we have done so far is to agree with a lot of the IPPs on a structure of payment, averagely 4 years to 5 years payment plan to be able to amortize the debt, and also in return get some concession from them. I must say that the IPPs have been very magnanimous. Even though we have a binding contract and agreements with them, they've been magnanimous to give us some haircut, which I'm sure the minister would announce at some point. We're looking close to about $300 million on the debt, and also over $1 billion in future payments, but at this point we are close to $200 million, I suppose, and I'm sure by the end of the day we will be able to give the gross figure as to what has been achieved so far.
Ben Boache is the Executive Director for the African Center for Energy Policy and a key member of the committee put together to negotiate with the independent power producers on restructuring their debts. Now, the Bank of Ghana has charged all institutions in the remittance space to desist from engaging in what it describes as unfair market practices. Now, this warning was captured in the upgraded guidelines for payment service providers in the remittance business in the country. More in this report.
The Bank of Ghana in the updated guidelines says some of these practices that it sees as unfair are when a market player tries to offer payment rebate, commissions, or preferential arrangement that confer undue advantage, which could go a long way to distort market conditions. The regulator says it will not hesitate to sanction any institution engaging in such practices. This is because such conduct are inconsistent with the fair trade rules that guide the practices of players in the sector. On remittance inflow, the Bank of Ghana reminded these firms that all foreign currencies received should also find their way back to the country to the account of their partner commercial banks. The updated guidelines also pushes for some transparency in terms of disclosing to the Bank of Ghana all their partner institutions outside the country. Now, these firms should also be licensed by their respective regulators and must abide by all the anti-money laundering regulations. The payment service providers and money transfer operators are also required to have a settlement account here in Ghana with a universal bank where all their inflows will come in to aid their settlement. On foreign currency rate for settlement, the Bank of Ghana directed these institutions to explore the average operating rate by trading platform Bloomberg or anyone that will be prescribed by the central bank.
And that is the Business Desk report. Now, the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, has pledged government support for the Qatari manufacturing firm Al Jarad and Glofed to establish a fertilizer plant and large-scale crop production in the country. According to the minister, this move would help Ghana make some savings on foreign exchange. He made this disclosure when officials of the Qatari firm paid a courtesy call on the minister.
Over the years, we have been importing fertilizer from outside Ghana. I know recently we had a lot of challenges with our exchange rate because of the huge import bill. We import a lot. And so the president has directed that we focus on production of some of the things that we can do here in Ghana. It is only through that we can sustainably work on the volatility of the exchange rate. This government is ever ready to support you to ensure that this factory is established here in Ghana. And we are giving you our word. If you have the factory here producing the fertilizer, what is the sense in going outside to import the fertilizer to come and support our business here? Once you start production here, you have the market already, and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture is ever prepared to work with you.
Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku. Let's head to the stock market. And Access Bank was down by £1 and is now worth 16 Ghana cedis, 36 pesos. Holders of MTN shares was down by £1 and it's now worth 3 Ghana cedis, 88 pesos. Shares of Standard Chartered Bank was up marginally and is now worth 28 Ghana cedis, 1 peso. And that's all for Business on Newsnight. Daniel Kranteng is here with sports.
Yeah, and Women's Premier League champions Police Ladies will face Samnelli FC of Benin tomorrow in their second group game of the ongoing WAFU B Champions League qualifiers. The Ghanaian champions lost their opening game against Nigeria's Bayelsa Queens and need a win tomorrow to keep their hopes of qualification alive. Head coach Yusuf Basiyi shared his thoughts ahead of the game.
Well, we have put the first game behind us because there's no way we can bring it back. So now we are looking forward to playing a very good game, win the maximum 3 points tomorrow to keep our dreams alive. Actually, we also have to respect them because they won their first game and they are not that bad, whereby we will just take them for granted. We are not going to underrate them at all because they are equally good, and for that matter, we will ensure that we give them a very good game and then ensure that we get a 3 maximum points.
Police Ladies head coach Yusuf Basigi speaking there. Now Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim is convinced his side is better off without having European campaign to distract them this season. The consequence of their 15th place Premier League finish and Europa final defeat by Tottenham last season means United are missing out on Europe for only the second time since English clubs returned to the UEFA competition after a 5-year ban in 1990.
Yeah, I said that last season. We need time to prepare every game. The games are really competitive, and we need time to build the base, and then in the future to move forward. And that will reach one moment that we need to have Europe for everybody to play games.
That's Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim bringing an end to sports.
Daniel, I see that you're a Manchester United fan.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Coach Amorim should go?
Not now.
Why?
It's too early.
Okay. Thank you very much, Daniel, for bringing us the latest in sports. Pearl, what else do we have?
Well, tonight, UK authorities will deport a Ghanaian on government scholarship with over 15 others on the red list. Some students abroad face deportation after failing to pay tuition fees and have been warned by universities, mainly in Europe and North America, to clear arrears or risk deregistration. Several have had their academic portals blocked and some face visa revocation. Prince Komla Bansa, president of the UK PhD cohort under the Ghana Scholarship Programme, shared the ordeal with Elton Brobe on the Pulse on Joy News.
Currently, we have about 110 students and approximately, 15 or 17 are actually on the red list, which means they are potentially facing deportation because they've been withdrawn from their schools and some of them have been suspended. And so they do not even have access to the university portals, so they cannot even submit their thesis. And just before I came online right now, I just received a text from another colleague saying that he's supposed to submit his thesis this week Friday, but his fee has not been paid. So before I came on air, I was talking to, so I just messaged the representative at the High Commission now to see what can be done. And she was telling me that by tomorrow she will personally see if she can handle the situation. Obviously, there's a gentleman whose deportation is right today, and I've been following the issue for a very long time. There hasn't been a forthcoming. Friday, I had to put more pressure. Monday was a bank holiday in the UK. So today, back and forth, I was going and fortunately, they managed to remit the money to the school. But now the school is saying that they've given him enough time and that he definitely have to leave the country. So I'm still pressing some buttons to see how we can assist this particular student. The issue is that the administrator of the scholarship has to understand one thing. The point is that the operational mechanisms of the UK institutions are completely different from Ghana. So if the Home Office issue a visa withdrawal for anyone, that means that the person has to leave the country. It doesn't matter whether you pay the money or you don't pay. There are some schools that will say, okay, you have paid the money, so you write back to the Home Office.
Right.
But that also takes time for the Home Office to acknowledge those letters. And some other schools require you to reapply for a visa. In that case, if your visa expires, then it means you have to leave the country. So as we are speaking in terms of this gentleman now, he is going to be an overstayer after 23:59 this night. So you can imagine the situation in which he finds himself.
Stella Mahama, the welfare officer of the student body at the University of Aberdeen, shared how some students have been struggling to live for 36 months without stipends.
Well, I mean, it's the same across. I would speak from the angle of my fellow females. Imagine you are asked out of your flat, and as a female, you are out there, you are highly vulnerable. As a PhD student, you are allowed 20 hours to work, but the jobs are not even there to begin with. And even if you get a job, you are even discouraged from working the 20 hours because your workload as a student is so much, because you would have to meet your progressions, you have to write papers and publish them. The whole PhD journey is so packed. And if you are saddled with the non-payment of stipends and school fees, it just, throws you off there. It's a serious situation for us as students at the moment.
Well, government is phasing out styrofoam packs, popularly called takeaway, with stakeholder engagement underway and broader checks set up to block imports of such products.
My colleague Maxwell Aklobato has more in the following report.
Styrofoam packs, popularly known as takeaways, have long been a common choice for food packaging across the country. But amid growing concerns over their environmental impact, the government is now taking a firm stance against their use. The move follows a directive from the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, who in early June 2025 called for actions to phase out the use of styrofoam in the country. Speaking at the inauguration of the Environmental Protection Agency and the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission's board, the Chief Executive Officer of EPA, Professor Amma Brown Kluche, told Joy News that the agency is already engaging key stakeholders to facilitate the ban of the use of styrofoams.
We have started engaging stakeholders, the Ghanaian public who use the styrofoams, to start looking for alternatives to the styrofoams. So our next is to issue official letters and do media engagement as well on it, and then we see to the ban.
She further noted that inspection offices have been established at various border points as part of efforts to prevent the importation of styrofoams into the country.
We've set up offices at the port of entry into Ghana. So currently we have a physical space at Tema Port, which is the main entry, and then we'll have other spaces at the other port of entry, the landed port, so that we monitor closely item that comes in.
The EPA says it remains committed to enforcing policies that protect the environment. Reporting for Joy News, Maxwell Aklobotu, Accra.
And away from that, Ghana has dropped 6 places on the 2025 Global Peace Index, ranking 61st globally and slipping outside the top 5 in sub-Saharan Africa for the first time in 5 years. Caleb Ziblim of our research desk joins me in studio with more. Caleb, what more can you tell us?
Yes, Ken. So according to the Institute for Economics and Peace, that's a think tank in Australia, Ghana was the second most peaceful country in sub-Saharan Africa in 2021 and 2022. We dropped from the 2nd position to the 4th position in 2023 and 2024. But in 2025, we have now dropped from the 4th position to 7th. And globally, we've also dropped from the 61st position to 55. So Ghana is now 7th in Africa and 61 in the world.
Well, thank you very much, Caleb Ziblim there. And let's read a few of your messages that you've been sending to us. Enoch from Dambai in the Oti region says, our main source of water for drinking, cooking and bathing is the Oti River, and the river is infested with germs. People wash cars in the water and at times bath in it. And this is from Ranzi. So he says the Deputy Minister of Agric did not address the Bagri Dam spillage issue well at all. This is not a new thing, therefore I expected that an assessment would have been done even with the ADS in opposition. It is sad. This is from Kotoka Carriage in Aloga, Lashibi in the Volta region. He says, when I think about the Bagri Dam spillage, I don't understand why it keeps happening every year and why our authorities or leaders cannot find a way to restore this water for future use. As for the MPP flag bearer race, whoever they bring, the NDC is ready for them, and they will remain in opposition for a long time. So those are a few of your messages that you've been sending onto our WhatsApp console. But that's all time will allow for tonight's edition of News Night. My name is Kenneth. Gyasi.
My name is Ofori.
But of course, right after this, we have Geek Squad with Adobia.